During all the time I was playing Minecraft, I was pretty much used to the concept of two total bosses in the game, the Wither and the Ender Dragon, whose sort of official name is Gene, by the way. Now you know a useless fact. Regardless, I think just like I do, you may also believe that Minecraft consists of those two bosses in total. I mean, pretty much everyone would agree with me, right? Well, if I'm already making this video, then probably not. Alright, just to be clear, I got my video idea from literally the most random place I could never imagine. As all of you probably know, Kai and I, together with Speed, decided to not only beat Minecraft once again, but kill all the bosses in addition to that. But in their list, Warden and the Elder Guardian are also included, which just got me thinking, is the Warden or even the Elder Guardian real bosses in Minecraft? That's literally how I got the video idea for this video. But I mean, I never have thought that much whether they both should become a Minecraft boss, so I thought this is an interesting idea and that's it. So without further ado, subscribe, literally. Everyone knows that the silver play button is my #1 childhood dream and you can help me achieve it. So now I can start the video. So first, let me actually answer this. How are both the Ender Dragon and the Wither even considered bosses in the first place? So the first logical thing that I could think of was the Minecraft wiki, and according to it, the answer is actually as simple as it sounds. A boss is a type of powerful hostile mob that displays a boss bar showing its health while alive. There are two boss mobs, the Ender Dragon and the Wither. So with that being said, Warden is not a boss. Alright, just kidding. Although you can click the subscribe button at the top. Officially, both of them are not considered bosses simply because of the fact that they both don't have a boss bar at the top. Yeah, I'm dead serious. But on the other hand, they both do actually have some kind of features which are similar to the features that the existing bosses have, which are a lot of health, significant damage to the player, and overall the strength of a boss. Although it is probably one of the reasons why people consider both of them as bosses, simply because they have one of the most amount of health being regular mobs and not bosses. For comparison, on Java, let's not talk about Bedrock, the Wither has 300 HP aka 150 hearts. And since I'm gonna always say HP, just remember that the amount of hearts is just half the amount of HP, while the Warden has 500 HP. That actually surprised me, not gonna lie, I literally forgot this fact. But another fun fact, the Elder Guardian was actually referred sometimes as either a mini-boss or a boss in general by Mojang themselves, which is a fair reason to call the Elder Guardian that way, although the Elder Guardian only has 80 HP, but the Warden on the other hand is a literal nature disaster. And I'm not making things up, because according to Brandon Pierce, aka current game designer and the creator of the Aether mod, who was responsible for creating the Warden, said to the Warden following things. I'd actually consider it something entirely new. The Warden is a force of a nature, not a boss. When a tornado is barreling towards you, you don't try to kill it, you run away. The Warden is exactly the same, which actually confirms that the Warden, a mob that is considered the strongest mob in the game by many people, was actually never intended to be a boss in the first place. One of the other features that defines a boss in the game is its drop. The Wither drops the Nether Star used for crafting a beacon, for example, which is useful for many people, and the Ender Dragon, well, would you consider the Dragon Egg as something useful? I mean, as a trophy in general, it is looking very cool, but otherwise, it's only the XP that remains useful after killing the dragon. And aside from loot, killing the dragon also opens an easier path to the End Islands. And I said easier because there are people crazy enough traveling to them without killing the dragon in the first place. Meanwhile, in terms of usefulness of the drop from the Warden, it's seriously, Mojang? I mean, there is no way you wanted to make Warden that useless. Regardless, people loved the map itself and overall creepiness of it, and while officially Warden is not considered a boss, it can be called mini-boss. I mean, simply because the Elder Guardian was sometimes referred as one as well by Mojang themselves, and in my opinion, it just simply would look cool if, for example, not the Elder Guardian because of its low HP, but the Warden, for example, would have something like a mini-boss bar, because the Warden being so strong and having more HP than the literal f***ing bosses in the game is the reason why many people see him as a boss, although it is a mob. A regular mob that can f***ing fight on par with the literal Bedrock Wither, which is a literal nightmare boss on Bedrock Edition. So I think it is pretty much unfortunate, I'd say, that Mojang didn't take the opportunity to make the Warden an official boss, but rather useless in terms of loot, even though people love the mob and the concept of it, and making Warden a boss would actually literally be nothing but adding a boss bar and useful loot, which in case of Warden would not be possible because of its original concept of being something more like scary and not attractive in terms of loot, which makes Warden not a boss. But alright, all I have left to say that is super important is you are worthy and you matter. Love yourself, and I wish you an amazing rest of your day.